While we may use our weight and our legs to achieve the desired movements from our horse, rein contact and making sure we have soft or light hands on the reins are also essential if we are to get the best results. In our 2 previous videos, we discussed the effective use of our weight and our legs when we ride. If you haven't viewed those videos yet, I will link them below. We are continuing our series on the rider's natural aids. The natural aids are weight, legs, hands, and voice. The rider will use this circle of aids when riding their horse. This video, we will be discussing the 3rd natural aid, our hands. It is important to hold the reins the correct way. If you are riding English or direct reining, you will want your hands to be about 4 inches above the horse's withers. Your hands should be about 4 inches apart, or the width of the bit in the horse's mouth. Your wrists should be straight and not bent. And your thumb should be up, not facing inwards or outwards. The reins should be going from the bottom up, between your ring finger and your little finger, and out the top of your hand. There should be a straight line from your elbow to your horse's mouth. Your hands should slightly be in front of the saddle. If you are riding Western or using indirect reining, there are 2 types of rein holds. Traditionally, the reins will be held in your left hand because it left a cowboy's right hand free to rope cattle, open gates, and other work from horseback. Whether you choose to hold the reins in your right hand or left won't matter if you're just going to be casually riding. If you are in a horse show, though, you will need to keep the reins in your left hand. You can hold the reins, clasping them so they come from the bottom through the top of your hand with the thumb on top, or you can place your index finger between the reins. You should hold your reins slightly in front of the horn, and the tails of the reins are both on the right side. I like to have my students hold the rein tails in their right hand on their right thigh for added safety if the reins happen to slip from the left hand. The California hold is done with Rommel reins. They are held in a vertical fist, like a snow cone. Riders often refer to having light hands or soft hands. What this means is that as we grasp the reins, we want to keep our hands gentle and responsive. Everybody aims for soft, light hands. But what does that mean? It doesn't mean having such a loose hold on the reins that they slip through your fingers if your horse moves unexpectedly. You need to hold them tightly enough to ensure a consistent contact between your hands and the reins. You should have soft elbows, and they need to be relaxed at your side, not flapping. I call those chicken wings. Your goal is to keep your hands still at all the gaits, the walk, trot, and canter, neither moving up and down nor from side to side, but maintaining that straight line from elbow to wrist to the horse's mouth. In order to achieve this, you need to have a balanced seat. Riders that don't have a balanced, secure seat tend to use their reins as lifelines, constantly jerking on the horse's mouth or grabbing for the horn. If you have to hang on to the horn at any time, it means you do not have a balanced, secure seat in the saddle. The best way I've ever found to work on a balanced, secure seat is to ask a friend to lunge your horse while you're riding, letting the reins go and not grasping onto any part of the saddle. With persistence and a lot of time in the saddle on the lunge line, you will gain a secure seat, leaving your hands free to be gentle and soft. Please don't think of the reins as the only tool you have to turn or stop the horse. If you find yourself pulling and tugging on the reins to get the horse to do a particular thing, you might want to evaluate how you are applying your natural aids. Remember this illustration I have shown a couple of times in these videos. It's the circle of aids. Notice the order the aids are given in. This isn't just random. This is the order in which they should be performed. If you are turning a horse, the first aid that you use is your weight, turning your head, shoulders, and hips in the direction you want to go. The horse feels this and may start curving their spine. Now bring in the leg aids, applying pressure with the outside leg behind the girth, making sure your inside leg is off the horse at the girth. Now and only now, apply the rein. The same concept is used to slow or stop the horse. A stop or halt begins with you shifting your weight back, rolling onto your pants pocket. This engages your core. The core is where the rider's power comes from. We want to strive to be gentle and consistent with our horses, not harsh and abusive. We lead through gentle, consistent, and persistent cues. It's the same with Jesus. He is the gentle and kind shepherd. He calls us to come to him for rest and comfort. Walking with Christ isn't about following a bunch of rigid, legalistic rules. Too many have fallen into this trap and have formed all kinds of harsh laws to follow to become a Christian. Instead, Jesus wants our heart. He wants us to seek him and trust him. He wants us to put our hand in his, and he wants us to let him guide us. The world can be a dark, scary place. This is something we can't do on our own. Jesus offers us his love, kindness, and gentleness. He calls us to come to him so he can surround us with his safety and loving kindness. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:28-30.